Today on Dream Chasers, we learn from the best. Dr. Love Mayat. She is a sex therapist, and no topic is off limits with her. From how to have an orgasm align with your partner, to when and where foreplay should really start. If you are looking to take your sex life to another level, stay tuned and learn these things and more as Dr. Love teaches us all things sex. Hi, this is Nicole Bright. I'm here with Dr. Love Mayat. Hi.
Greetings, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be with her today. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, I'm so honored to have you. Well, for me to be a guest to you.
Yeah, it's great. And so, first of all, I just want you guys to know I'm doing a series called Dream Chasers. And she's a part of the series because when I met her, I knew she was living in her passion and her purpose.
Yes.
And that's for sure. So, one of the first things I want to do is I want to back up a little bit because I know anybody that's living in their passion, they got a story.
Yes, don't we all?
I know.
Yes.
So, when I see you, I see a lot of energy. You brighten up a room. You just got mad energy. And whenever that happens and you're living in your passion, there has to be a moment where you decide to receive your calling.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, it is. It's definitely a moment when I received. Actually, Ms. Bright, I say I didn't have a choice. My calling was pushed on me. It was something that I had to do. I couldn't ignore it. And my calling started at a very young age. You know, I was 17 years of age. And 17 years of age, you be kind of doing your own thing anyway.
Of course.
But being from a dysfunctional family, being raised in a girls' home, being molested as a child, it really brought me to a space that I didn't really care about too many things and too many people. All I cared was about survival. So 17 years ago, I was shot 7 times. And at that moment, that was the best day of my life because that's when I knew my purpose.
So what should have been the worst day of your life
Was the best day of my life.
Day. Oh my God.
Yes. That was the day I became saved, meaning that I knew my higher power. I knew my purpose. I knew I had a reason for being. Before then, I didn't know I was here on this earth, and I didn't know what my purpose really was until that moment.
So what is your purpose?
My purpose is sex chose me.
Sex chose me.
So I would tell you, Ms. Bright, I'm not a victim, never have been. I never want anyone to say, oh, she went through so much. No, I'm a warrior because my creator, God, chose me for this. So with that being at stake, when something was taken from me, something was also deposited inside of me. And that caused me to go for this exploring and journey of finding out what was deposited inside of me, which was different aspects of sexuality.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I remember when I met you, you said that one of the reasons you're doing what you're doing is to help others.
Exactly. There's no other. Ms. Bright, we are all given and blessed with gifts, right?
Yes.
But if we have our gifts like this and we think it's ours, we cannot receive any other blessings, right? Or gifts.
Exactly.
So our gifts is for others.
Mm-hmm.
So I was blessed with this gift.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been trials and triumphs, a lot of tears, a lot of headaches. You know, they said I'd never walk again and have any more children.
Where were you shot at?
I was shot in my stomach. I was shot in my back. I was shot in my legs. I was shot in my butt. I still have five AK bullets in my body right now.
Do you really?
Yes, I have one bullet 1 inch away from my spine. So every day of my life, I face a great opportunity of not being able to walk again. Because if it hit my spine, I'm in trouble. But do I live in fear?
No.
Never.
Mm-mm.
So, they say I was paralyzed. I have to tell myself right, left, right, left. The body heals itself, Ms. Bright. It heals. It's so beautiful. But we have to have that knowledge. And that's the gift that I'm trying to share with everyone, is about naturally healing yourself through sex. Through sex, which is one of the strongest pain medications.
I agree with that.
What is? Yes. We just think about it, right? If you're stressed out, sex. Headache, stress, right?
Yes. Because you know what? So many people, so many women, I'm going to put it on us, because I don't hear many men do this, but so many women, when they're in pain, they go away from sex and they go to themselves. But I've learned, as my experience, it helps me through it.
Yes. And that is honestly true. I can't put everybody in a box, but I think that some guys don't know. And we are givers. We're givers. We're nurturers. So you have that companion, that husband, that lover who's in pain or anything like that, and their erection is not affected by their pain, because you have to think this, right? The same endorphins that's released inside pain medication, which is oxytocin, is also released during sex.
That's true.
Yes. So if you can get that guy to allow you to stimulate him and release, he'll feel so much better.
Wow. How many of you didn't know that? I'm sure a lot of the people watching right now had no idea. That's why you're so needed. That's why your purpose is so needed.
I hope so. I try, because I'm sure and I'm quite aware that I'm not for everybody.
Right.
But I'm for somebody. And as long as I'm able to help one person, I feel like I'm accomplishing my journey.
Oh my, that's such a big thing. I had to learn that as well. You're not for everybody. Because I used to say, okay, what can I give this person? What can I give this person? I had to just be me and whoever you connect with.
Exactly.
That's who you're there for.
Exactly.
So I just draw people, all kinds of people, and all kinds of connections, and that's the greatest lesson.
I tell people all the time. I said I lovingly let people in my life, and I lovingly let people go out of my life, because I know that people come into your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime.
That's right.
And with that being said, no matter if it's a reason, season, or a lifetime, there's always one thing. There's a lesson in all of it. So as long as you lovingly accept them in your life and lovingly accept them out of your life, you're receiving that lesson.
So when you say lovingly accept them out of your life, that means there's no bitter, there's no anger, there's no,
Exactly. No hard feeling, because, it takes more energy, negative energy, to dislike someone, to be angry, to be bitter, to be envious. It takes more. I mean, like myself, Miss Bright, for me to be mad, I have to program myself like, oh, I'm mad. And I can feel myself. I'm like, oh, I'm mad. I'm just mad. I'm gonna have a frowny face, But and I'm really trying to do this shit, right?
Right.
And when I'm happy, it just feels so good, and it's just so natural.
Yeah.
So why do we put so much energy into being negative?
Oh my God. It's because you're naturally happy, naturally live, and have all the energy. So when bad things happen, you have to, remind yourself?
Yes, because energy doesn't die, it changes forms. But
yes,
you have to remember, I know my purpose.
Ah.
So that's what keeps me elevated from all the toxicity that people can cause, because energy don't die, it changes forms. And you feed. What you feed, you make the strongest.
Energy don't die, it changes form.
Yes, I mean, if you feed negativity, that's what's going to really be feeding inside of you, that negativity. If you feed positivity, just think about it, Miss Bright. If somebody said, Miss Bright, you are so beautiful. I love your hair. I love your demeanor. But I hate your doggone shoes.
That's what you going to focus on.
That's what you going to focus on, the shoes.
That's true.
Because that's how we programmed ourselves.
That's true.
All those beautiful compliments I gave you. But even though I love your shoes, baby, I love them. We focus on the negative because that's what we feed unconsciously.
That's
so
true.
So we have to change our thought process and focus on purposely feeding our positive energy.
I like that. And it's all about your mindset.
Yes. Change your mindset, change the outcome.
That's right. Yes. That's right. Because one day, I know me, and I was going to ask you this. I don't know if you know anything or much about it, but I always experience, when I'm about to have my cycle, I'm just feeling kind of down. And I'm just such a different person. And I know, I was like, okay, so I know the cycle's coming because of how I'm feeling.
Yes.
And it's just it can be debilitating sometimes. But then the next day,
you're back right.
I'm back right. I'm back Nicole Bright.
Well, that's a beautiful thing because, oh my goodness, when my cycle get ready to start, I go through being horny and evil. Well, I am horny, and evil.
That is part of it too. I think there's different what you call it, different times, different levels or whatever. Yes. I don't know what you want to call it. But you do get that way too.
Yes.
So what do you say about people that are, do you think that they should be having sexual relations while they're on their cycle?
Of course.
I knew she was going to say it. I knew it.
Of Of course. I mean,
because we've been taught against it.
see, that's this Western civilization. Back in the 1800s, when people were going out for war and things of that nature, the wounded soldiers used to come back, and all the women who were on their cycles, they get in line before they can have sex or receive cunnilingus to strengthen the male soldiers back up. Yeah, so
What?
you had to do research on the blood moons and the blood cycles. Like with my cycle, first of all, I suffer from SAD, seasonal affective disorder. So the seasons kind of affect me a lot.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my hormones with the cycle, I always come on my cycle during a full moon, during that full moon cycle.
Oh.
So I'm dealing with a lot of different elements at the same time. However, you have to be able to identify, like you said that when you're about to come on your cycle.
I know.
See, a lot of people, they be like, damn, I'm feeling moody, I'm feeling emotional.
I'm so aware of my body and myself.
See, you're aware.
Yes.
A lot of people not aware. A lot of people, they be like emotional, crying. Sometimes I be like, I feel sad. I'm like, what's wrong? Then I have to ask myself, okay, is it time? Then I'm like, yeah, it's time.
Yep.
Look, when is the full moon coming?
Yep.
So as long as, like you said, you are aware, that's the first thing. Being able to identify your emotions.
Okay.
That's the most crucial thing. I always tell people, identify your emotions, identify where you and your lover are at sexually. That's the whole formula right there.
Wow. That's a good tip. Okay, so can you give me another tip that people don't know? Just a little tip.
One of the greatest tips that I can give you is, you already doing it pretty much. Know thyself and love thyself first. Unapologetically. So that means, how you said, would you have sex on your cycle? If you want to, live up to it, yes. Because guess what? There's only one Nicole Bright. And that's going to be you. And you have to love you. You can't care what no one else thinks. Unapologetically. So learn your body, know your body, teach your lover or your spouse your body so they can learn how. Don't expect for them to come in like Mr. Magic Man and be experimenting. Because then you're gonna be like, damn, that ain't it. And then if they do hit one spot that you like, they're going to keep on going to that same old thing over and over and over again. You're going to know what they're going to do. You're going to be like, okay, so I know right now he's about to go to my clit. That's not fun, knowing every step the person's finna make.
Right.
Learn your own body from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and then share with your lover. Look in the mirror. Miss Bright, you are so beautiful. Look in the mirror. I just love my head. I love my eyes. I love my ears. I love my nose. I love my breath. Fall all over again. Every day. Every day. Every day. Fall in love with yourself. And then teach your lover.
Yeah. I have this shirt that, it's a Beyonce shirt. Feeling me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's feeling myself or
feeling
something.
myself.
Yes.
Feeling myself.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is something new for me, to be honest, because back in the day, I just, when you're younger, sometimes you're not in touch with who you are and how beautiful you are.
Yes.
And I think as I've grown older, I've accepted myself so much. I've started loving myself. And someone told me recently, they said, I don't think you like yourself, because I was having a problem with loneliness. But I said, well, I don't think that's it, because I started really thinking deeply. When someone tells me something, I don't revolt. I go and think on that thing, like, are they right? And I started examining myself. I'm like, no, I love myself.
And loneliness and lonesome is two different things.
Okay. Tell us.
Lonesome is, I just feel like I need that companionship. I just want that extra special something feeling right now. Remember I said identify your emotions? Loneliness is when you're feeling depressed and sad, feeling like nobody in your world can really
different. I don't feel that way.
Feel
no.
Like you need it or want it.
Yes.
So you experience the lonesome moment. You want that extra companionship, that extra love, that extra, Nicole, I just love you, baby.
Right.
Which we all experience that needing of that extra, It's not being a needy person. It's not being attention-fied. Oh, but let me correct that. I love attention.
I do too.
I give it and I love it because I like compliments. I love to give compliments. I love to know that I'm pretty. I love to tell people they pretty.
Yes.
And when I'm not having a pretty moment, guess what? I love for somebody to tell me that too. Love my eye, you are not having a pretty moment. Okay, come help me. Help me upgrade myself right now.
Exactly.
And I have no problem with asking for that help.
I'm so true. Yeah. Because you know what? I've learned to communicate more than anything. I'm a master communicator.
Yes.
And it's just wonderful. I was next to a lady in the store the other day, and she was like, she said, oh, this will look beautiful on you. I looked at her, I said, I love your dress. And she said, oh, you look nice and beautiful and comfortable. I was like, we don't even know each other. We just loving on each other. And
that's
she said,
beautiful.
as it should be.
It should. We should lift each other up. Instead, it's so funny Miss Bright, a woman, and I was guilty of this before. Until I learned, a lady showed me a prime example. When I go places, I know I'm the rare seed. Okay, wherever I go, I know I stand out. I know I'm totally different. Been that way all my life. But I used to, when I was younger, people used to always stare at me. And I was like, have an attitude, like, what they looking at? I have an attitude.
Right.
Then when I was in a wheelchair, people be looking at me and I feel like, oh, I just feel like I'm just so ugly. I'm just not nothing. Then I got out that wheelchair and I was like, okay. Then I got to the point that when I began to follow my purpose, it's the difference between knowing your purpose and following through with your purpose.
Ooh.
When people start looking at me, I started smiling, looking at them back. Wow. So now, for example, last week, I went to the gas station. Caucasian older lady, she was staring at me, and I'm looking like, this Caucasian just keeps staring at me. I said, I hope she's not racist. And I'm like, she just like she not staring, she gawking. She like this, like, stop and stared at me.
What the heck were you wearing?
I forgot. But I do my pink today. You caught me on the off day. I usually have pink hair and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, so that day I was on one of my pink hair days.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then I think we was just leaving from Atlanta. So she kept staring at me and everything, and then she went to the gas station. So I ain't saying that. I'm just looking like, man, this lady. She keep on stopping, looking at me. One more time, I have to ask her what she looking at, because right now I'm feeling kind of violated. I'm looking at, like, I just went through what's that, the little machines and see if you got a gun or something. I'm thinking she addressing me with her eyeballs. So if she is, I want to make sure I'm looking right, So she comes out and she looks at me again. So. Look, Miss Bright, I'm ready. I'm ready for this lady. I'm like,
I love the boldness.
I'm finna give it to her.
All right.
Look, I'm out here in these suburbs, but I don't care. We got to call the police because I'm about to give it to her. And she stopped. She was an older lady, so she had to be about her 60s or 70s. And she said, young lady, she said, you are so beautiful.
I knew it.
She said, I have never seen natural beauty like you have. Ever. She said, I'm not trying to be funny. She said, baby, can I please just take a picture of you? I'm like, shit, she better put me on her little target with her people, her circle, and talk about my pink hair. I was thinking all kind of negative stuff.
Yes.
And then I thought about it, and I said, she might be sincere. So I took a picture for this lady. I don't know what she did. If she's watching your show, please do something positive with it. But she gave me the greatest compliment. And it showed me, Stranger. Sometimes we automatically think it's something negative when it's something good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So automatically.
The thinking.
Stinking. Because I never, not one time, thought that she was complimenting me. Not one time. I was thinking she's probably racist. She probably said something bad, derogatory about me. That stinking thinking was playing a lot of different scenarios. Not one time did I ever think that this lady's going to compliment me.
Wow. That's a good story. I like that. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
Yes.
Because I've experienced that thinking too. And I'm glad that we have learned to kind of adjust our minds.
Yes.
And change our mindsets. So, now what kind of services do you give?
Oh my goodness. I help people to identify where they're at sexually and others.
I needed you so long ago, but go ahead.
So that's what I do, which is called sex frequencies, okay?
Sex frequencies.
But outside of that, I'm a radio television personality. Oh. I'm a sexpert, sex researchologist. So I travel the world teaching different aspects of sex. Of course, I do the workshops, the oral sex workshops. I have a dominatrix workshop.
Oral sex workshop.
Yes. You got to come to my workshop this Saturday. I'm having a dominatrix workshop. So I do teach dominatrix.
What is dominatrix?
So it's being submissive or dominant.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, and I tell people all the time, everybody, I'm a dominatrix. I want to be a dom. I want to be a dom. Because they feel like dominatrix are so in control and so powerful that they could do everything. But the secret is that the most powerful person between a submissive and a dominatrix is a submissive, because consensually, the dominatrix can't do anything that the sub don't allow.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You can't do anything to somebody who's saying, no, I don't want this, because that's not consent. That takes you to a whole different charge.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Do you think that I'm always in my head, right? First thing I always think about, okay, so what does this mean about this person? I don't know if it means anything, but I always want to dissect things. Mm-hmm. So someone that wants to be dominant in the bedroom, does that mean that in the world itself they're not dominant? Or no?
I experience that differently. Most of my dominant people who I deal with is very dominant in their careers, and they want to feel the other side of being able to be submissive. See, you got to think about it, Miss Bright. We have yin and we have yang.
Right.
So we have two sides. So it has to be balanced. So if you're only utilizing your masculinity, where's the femininity at?
So you're saying if they're dominant in the world, they're being submissive in the bedroom.
Most of the time.
That's what I was saying. Okay.
That's how they would want to be. Now sometimes they have to have that special balance, because sometimes if you have a dominant person and their lover is dominant, somebody got to be able to negotiate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And sometimes they may clash, or sometimes one may suppress their deepest desires sexually. Like, okay, let this person go ahead and do their thing.
Do you counsel couples?
Always.
So I mean, are they really open about, what they want to do, what they don't want to do in the bedroom, and able to talk through it with you?
Well, also they spending their money. I don't do consultations for nothing.
I would think that, when in my head, I would think that someone dragging somebody to do it and the other person really not wanting to do.
Well, I experienced that, and it starts off that way, but you can't force a person to come. So in order for both people to be at that point in time in their life or their relationship, they have to have a want for their relationship to be better. Whether it's mentally, physically, sexually, spiritually.
Right.
They have to both want something out of their relationship, because if it's this one person, it's this one-sided, they're going to be like, forget it, you go by yourself.
Exactly.
And generally when that happens, the person comes by themselves, and then eventually that person ends up leaving the person they were with. Or they just been stagnant in a relationship, because people get married for different, or they're in a relationship for different reasons. It could be for stability, it could be for work, it could be for entitlement, it could be numerous reasons why you are married, because you don't want to be alone, or because you feel like you're getting too old. There's so many reasons. I think that's very imperative for people to know why they're married, and understand it changes throughout the course of the marriage. Because it can't change, and people be hurt off of that. Like, we got married for this reason. We got married for
you were this and you were that. And people change and evolve and want different things. And when you love someone, you have to be able to change with one another and just figure out your new.
Exactly. And
it's always a new. Yeah.
Embrace it.
So I'm going to go back really quick to you said, okay, so you said you were violated, but you're not a victim, right?
Yes.
So I find you to be so awesome and unique, because I would think that being violated would make you turn away from some of the sexual things, but it made you embrace it.
I mean, I've always been that type of person. First of all, I tell you, from day one, as long as I can remember, I've always been different. So, and I was always hard-headed. My mom would say, if you touch that wall, you're going to get a hickey on your head. I'll still touch that wall. Okay, so I was always that one. So with me, when something was taken from me, for years, I had sex with no substance. Meaning that I never received a penetration orgasm. So I was just having all this meaningless sex. Only meaning to my sex came out with beautiful children. Okay? It wasn't until later that I began to learn how to have sex with substance.
So how did you teach yourself to have an orgasm? Because I didn't have orgasm for years.
Yes. Well, through penetration or oral?
Through penetration.
Okay. Well, through penetration, I had to show. Well, first of all, I do tantra. Okay. I do tantra. So I learned from an Eastern philosophy. So I learned how to heal the body. I learned from tantra, and I had tantrikas around me. So I learned the overall higher approach for sexuality. So when I began to go on my journey for sex, when it came to that degree, I didn't care about the release as much. I cared more about the connection and spirituality. I cared about sexuality, spirituality, and energy coming together.
Okay.
And when I combined those three, it created magic.
Oh, so it was your mind.
All in the mind. It all starts with the thought. So once I got the proper teaching and training, I was able to make my body do what I wanted my body to do. See, I told you from the beginning, I control my body. I tell myself to walk. So if I could tell myself to walk, I could tell my body to do anything I want to do.
That's true. So what you did is you fixed your thoughts in your mind, and it set your body up.
Yes, I focus on my chakras.
Orgasm.
Yeah, so I train my body. Like right now, if you just inhale through your nose from your root chakra, which is the bottom of your yoni, and you just take it all the way to the top of your crown, bring it back down, and release. Do it again. You're going to start feeling your vagina.
That's tickles. True. I'm a very sexual person, though, so it's not hard. I'll just...
So, and if you continue to do it, you're going to feel yourself get aroused. I mean, to the point that you could do that so much that you could end up squirting or anything. So, it's just playing with the body and knowing the body.
And you know what it is? I think, like, I know back in my younger days, definitely, it was like, you were taught, okay, not sex before marriage, not sex before. And then when I actually did have sex, my mind was like, oh, this is not good, this is wrong. So my mind was not ready to do that.
Not ready to release. And it goes back before then. It goes before your marriage. It goes back when you were a child. This is your no-no spot. It was not called a vagina.
There you go.
It was not called a vagina, or it wasn't called a yanni. It wasn't called any of that. It was called the no-no place, the coochie. You had pocketbooks. You had all these other names for your.
My mom called it sugar bowl.
Your sugar bowl? I like that. The sugar bowl. I like that.
That's actually good, but
yeah, that's really good. I like that. So we were taught that the only thing you do is wash it, you use the bathroom, that's it.
Okay.
We were never taught. See, guys, they're blessed with. They come out with their penis in their hand. They come out playing with it, touching the head, experiment with it, because they're outer, we're inner. Yes. So I think, of course, we're not going to really explore our vagina as much as our vulva, because vagina's inside. Mm-hmm. But we're supposed to explore our vagina also. Put your finger in there, rub it, love on it. Of course, with the vulva on the outside, you rub those labia minores and majoris, those the outer and the inner lips. That clitoral is like this. Here's the clit. This is the clit right here, and it has legs. Right. Those legs sit inside of the lips. So you can just play with those and have an orgasm, So we already have the ups on men when it comes to the pleasure zones, because the clitoris is nothing but pleasure, okay?
Right.
And it holds over 8,000 nerve endings, and that, guys, is what, 4,000?
Oh, I didn't know.
So we dominate this shit.
We could have multiple
orgasms.
And they
can have multiple. They're not. They can't. They're not as full body orgasmic as we are. But see, here's the outside of it. It takes us longer to warm up. Guys are like microwaves. Like, as soon as we start warming up, they like, baby, I'm ready to release. You like, wait, hold
fast. Wait up, Yeah. But then once you get there,
now we can come together.
Exactly.
That's when it's special.
Yes.
That's when it's special.
That secret is coming together. Oh
man, that's what we call that. That's our 6 and 7 chakra. That's alignment and sound.
Wow.
When you become aligned with one another, and it just feels so good, and then you guys come at the same time.
That's awesome.
A lot of times people just like end up, oops, I found that spot. It just happened. They didn't know what they did to make it happen. Mm-hmm. But when you become sound and you can identify where you're at sexually, that's when you purposely say, okay, we finna do this. And y'all come at the same time.
Wow. So we've learned how to have an orgasm if you're not having one. Penetration.
Yes.
And then how to come at the same time.
Yes.
Wow. Those are beautiful things that don't happen all the time.
Exactly.
It's just sad.
It's sad. Because, it goes from people being more caught into the release versus what it takes to get to that release.
Oh, okay.
It's just like with human nature. More people be caught up with the destination instead of the journey.
The journey.
Because once you get to the destination, it's over. You got to start a whole different journey. So if you really take pride into the journey,
is the journey foreplay?
Yes, and the aspect of it. So if you focus on what it took to get to that orgasm, more so than just the orgasm alone.
But a lot of men don't like foreplay. What do we do with that?
Well, foreplay don't have to start in the bedroom. Foreplay can start on the cell phone. You can call, text. You can put love notice on the sticky notes and stuff. It doesn't have to start in the bedroom.
I like that. That's so true. No, that is so true.
Yes.
I knew that.
Mental stimulation. Mental stimulation.
Mental stimulation.
Yes.
Yes.
Have a mental gasm. Oh, goodness. I'm sapiosexual, so I love.
What does that mean?
Some people pronounce it sapio. It's like I'm intrigued off of intellect. So you could call me or you could text me, and it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. You could call me and start educating me on something. Girl, I be all wet and bothered. I'm like, oh my goodness. Talk to me some more. Tell me some more.
So that's another thing a lot of females go through, not getting wet. That's a mental thing as well, right?
No.
Okay. What is that?
There could be many triggers that cause you not to release fluids as often.
Okay.
One of the main triggers is alcohol.
Okay.
Smoking marijuana.
Okay.
Also stress.
Oh.
See, a lot of people say, I'm finna turn up, I gotta get drunk, I gotta get me some Henny, I gotta smoke me a blunt. Just like your mouth get dry, your vagina gonna get dry.
Don't do that,
So
ladies.
you got to be real careful. Unless you always have that lube. Always have some lubrication. Because you may get wet for a minute, but you keep on going, you're going to dry out.
Wow.
And some medication also. And then some women, we have different, just like our age grow, our body gets older,
Yes.
Even our clitoral, everything's changed. Our clit changed, our lips changed. But don't feel bad because guys, they testicles get saggy and they go through their shit too now.
They do. That is true.
But it's just a part of life. This is the part of life. And that's, again, the journey. So we have to focus on outside of the destination and the release or the orgasm. Because, there's a difference between an orgasm and a release.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can have an orgasm without releasing.
How, what?
Oh. Okay. Have you ever was having sex and it felt so good, like, oh my god, it feels so good, and you start feeling all the endorphins racing throughout your body. It feels so good, that little tickly feeling.
And you never really get there.
No, you got that orgasm, you just ain't released nothing.
Oh.
So you don't have to have an orgasm to release. A lot of people are like, oh, I had an orgasm because they released. No, you can release without an orgasm. Has someone ever just gave you clitoral stimulation, and then you went through it and it felt good, and you just like a quick second, poof, and then you you just released. You ain't orgasm. That orgasm lasts so much. That orgasm lasts so much longer.
I didn't even realize it was a difference.
Yeah, just think about it. When you just sometimes they give you cunnilingus, and then you be like, ah.
It is
and
then
the feeling gone.
It is a difference.
When you had that orgasm, you be like, oh. Somebody touched the clit, the tip of your clit. You be like, oh, don't touch me.
Right.
Because you still be aroused and sensitive.
Right.
Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, this is some good stuff, you guys. I'm just.
Yes.
I enjoy it.
She thinking right now, she's like, yeah, wait till the next time. I'm going to have an orgasm.
Oh, good. I hope this is helping everybody.
Yes, I
Don't
hope
be
so.
uncomfortable.
No.
What do you tell people that are uncomfortable about sex?
And I think that goes from society.
Okay.
I think they really tend to care about what society views are. And I ask people, I tell people all the time, I represent a lifestyle that refuses to allow society to suppress or depress their most inner kink or their sexual desires. Because so often we go off what we see on TV. Remember back in the day, you're not supposed to do oral sex, it's nasty. Now, this new generation, they done kicked all that out the window. Shoot, now you're talking about, first you couldn't do no oral sex, now you're talking about eating up the butt.
They are.
So,
I didn't know what all that was.
Exactly. So I'm like, wait, at first it was taboo to put some penis in your mouth or the vagina in your mouth. Now you're talking about putting the ass in your mouth? I'm like, oh my god.
I had to cover my face on that one.
Yeah, I'm saying, but you see how it's evolving.
Yes,
this new generation is evolving.
Yes.
So a lot of people are still stuck in the, I want to say traditional back then days when everything was supposed to be, oh, we don't do this, we don't do that, but they doing every damn thing, but they pretend that they're not doing it. So now I think that we are a lot more open-minded and a lot more unapologetically unique. We're willing to experience and explore and discover our innermost self without caring what the next person thinks. And if it's not you, then you should work on you because you only live this life once.
That's the truth.
You understand? Okay, I had a person tell me, I'm still a virgin, and she was like 38.
Okay.
And so I asked her, I said, well, have you ever played with a toy? Anything down there? And she said, yeah, I play with a toy. I said, so when you die, are you going to feel like you missed anything? Or are you going to say, well, I'm going to heaven because my hymen is still in position? But I still released because I still play with toys. I still had clitoral stimulation.
Right.
And I don't know if she really didn't want to talk too much about the stimulation inside penetration because my thing was, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Besides you having human companionship. Because those toys, I love toys, but the toys can't give you that human companionship.
That's so true.
And that's when the two combine, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, however it's supposed to be. People be doing some stuff. Now we got this poly and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about the two. It's about connecting. It's not just about busting that nut, feeling good for that one moment. It's about taking it to a higher level. Sex with substance. And I hope that a lot of people realize that. A lot of my clients, Miss Bright, they say, how do you bring spice back in a relationship? I said, well, how the hell did it get out your relationship?
Exactly.
It got out because y'all was on the same old thing, and y'all, the whole mind state was on releasing instead of trying to go to a different level with it.
Wow.
Enjoying the journey.
So you feel like sex is a spiritual thing?
Yes.
I do too.
Yes. We're spiritual creatures. We're energy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are here unless you were created through a chemical lab and all that stuff and all that type of stuff. We're here from sex. So if sex could produce life, what else can it do?
Wow, that's good.
I mean, you're here. I'm here. It was caused from your mom, your dad having sex, and then sperm reached the egg, and bam, there you are, right? So if it could do that off of that sperm cell and that egg, what else can it do?
Right. So so I know there's a thought out there about when you come together with someone, how you become one, they say women are receivers and they're receiving the man, so they're receiving his spirit or whatever in them and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm getting at?
I know what you're talking about. I don't agree with it, but yeah.
What is that? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think
what do you think about that? Because people have one-nighters, so are you a part of that person too? I mean, it's just a lot.
Well, it's really, Ms. Bright, it's really what your belief package is.
Okay.
Because whatever you believe, you make your reality.
Ah.
So whatever you believe, you make your reality. So for me, my beliefs.
Your beliefs.
I told you from the beginning, sex chose me because someone molested me.
Right.
So am I still part of that person, or did that person deposit something inside of me? Remember I told you that?
Okay,
I said something was taken from me.
Taken from you.
My innocence.
Your innocence was taken, and what was given?
That was that person. Something inside of them that was given deposit inside of me through sexuality. Mm-hmm. Do I think that this person is a part of me? No, I think they deposited something in me. Mm-hmm. So everybody in my way, do I believe in spiritual soul ties? I do.
Soul ties.
Do I believe in spiritual soul ties? I do. However, I believe that every person you come in contact with is energy. You're with me. We're not having any type of sexual things, but we're still in the same exchanging energy. Yes. So if I made you feel, if you came around me and I gave you a bad, eerie feeling, like, oh shit.
Yes, happened to
You're gonna be like, for no reason, this is the person around you. You resisted their energy.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you resisted their energy. So when you have sex with someone, what's inside of you must be more than what's inside of them.
On many levels.
So I tell people you are attracted to what you are. So say, for example, if you have sex with this guy and he a monster, you got some monstrous ways inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
So I take it there. I ask people all the time. I say, my higher power gave this analogy before. If you had if it was this pretty vase, it was so beautiful, Miss Bright, so beautiful. And you was I gotta get this vase. It was extremely expensive. So you had to work extra hours, had to do extra things because you want this vase so bad. Day in, day night, you were dreaming about this vase. You had to have this vase. So you finally got to the point that you got enough money to get this vase, right? You got this vase, you put it into your beautiful living room. You had it all shattered, all pretty, the cloth and everything, just sitting right there for this vase. Yeah. Beautiful. Everybody came in. Oh, Miss Bright, I love this vase. Where'd you get it from? It's just so everything that you thought it could be, it was, okay? Until one person walk in your house and they say, oh, this vase is so beautiful. Who made it? And you say, shit, I never thought about that. So you turn the vase over and you look at the person who made the vase, and then you Google that name, and they were a mass murderer or a killer.
Wow.
Do that make that vase that less beautiful?
It shouldn't.
That's how people are. Because we all have good and bad. We all, just because the person who made the vase produced something so beautiful, they still had something so bad inside of them. There's no such thing as a perfect person. No. So when you have that spiritual soul tie, just like they giving you some fucked up stuff, oops, I'm sorry, I don't know if I was cursing on your show. Like they give you some messed up stuff, you giving them some messed up stuff too. Just because, don't think that your stuff don't stink like his stuff. Exactly. That person's stuff with society views may be a little bit louder, or yours they must probably been found out about, but it had to have some kind of like-mindedness.
Some exchange.
Yeah, it had to be something that was attracted. You know how people say, oh, it's just the chemistry. It's just the chemistry. Oh, I felt the chemistry. Okay. I laugh so much, Miss Bright, when people say, "Oh, I can't stand a liar. I can't stand a liar." I ask people, I don't like no man to lie to me. And I ask them, well, how many times you lied to your damn self? You lie to yourself.
All the time. And believe it.
Exactly. And then someone said to me, well, it may not have been intentional, but it was still a lie. I tell myself, I'm finna go work out today. Miss Bright, I ain't went to go work out at all today. I'm at my office. I ain't finna eat no sugar. I was walking through the door eating the Nutter Butter.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
No, yeah.
If I can lie to myself,
Yes.
what makes me think the next person can't lie to me?
Exactly.
Now the thing is, being able to identify your own lies to be able to identify the other person's lie.
Right.
See,
right,
because
right.
you know you lied to yourself, you like, ain't gonna be no repercussion to my lie, which it is, eventually. But you gotta be able to understand and recognize another person's lie because their lies could be detrimental to you.
That's deep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so
Yes.
deep. So before we leave, I do want to mention this. The
Yes.
book. So I know you said some things that are already in the book. I haven't had the pleasure of reading, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
But I have heard you talk about the book, so I know some things you said about like being shot, being molested at an early age. I know that some of those things are in the book. What other little tidbits that are in the book they can expect when they read, like a little outline of?
They're going to know about me being a female entertainer. I was a dancer.
You were?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh,
They're going to learn
okay.
about me being a dancer. And they're going to learn about the life of being on the streets trying to survive.
Wow.
I had to survive. I mean, running away from girls' homes and having babies at a young age. I had my first child when I was 15. So yeah, so it's gonna take you down a road of a lot of different trials and triumphs. You know, the journey. But that journey took me to where I'm at today, with having over 26 years of legal background behind me and becoming a doctor.
That's all I'm about to say. She's a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't just say Dr. Love like it's like, you know,
Yeah.
this is who she is.
But I have to tell you guys that none of my credentials define me. I define my credentials because they didn't make me. I made them.
That's right.
So
I
I
like
never,
that.
I never say, oh, okay, da 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 da. I've been in law forever, but I did that for my children. If I could have, food on the table, and because I want to try to make a difference in this world. Me becoming a sex therapist, sex researchologist, sex expert, whatever you want to call it, that's for me. That's for me to really help. Really, my purpose to help people and people like me know that it's okay unapologetically. Fuck. For us channeling knowledge. That's what we got to do. We got to channel our knowledge with each other.
Yes.
I help you, you help me.
Yes.
We got to help each other
Yes.
grow
That's
instead of being
beautiful.
ashamed of things.
That
Instead
is
of taking
beautiful.
that victim mind state. You can't prosper with a victim mind state.
No.
You're gonna still be holding on to that ill feel.
Exactly.
You can't get further with that. Oh, this was so wrong. What happened to me?
Exactly.
Da, 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 da. You're gonna still find yourself in that space.
Mm-hmm.
That space. So until you be able to face that space and take that person that received that inner you, that younger you, or however old you are, take that person and say, it's okay, baby. We got this. And move forward. You're gonna still be in that victim state.
I've told myself many, many times, I can't backslide into who I used to be because she can't handle what I'm doing today.
Exactly. And you're not in competition with nobody but yourself. You got to be a better version of yourself today than you was yesterday. Because look,
right.
yesterday you wasn't sitting here with me. Tomorrow you're going to be sitting or doing something else. So today is going to prove who you are tomorrow. So you got to be a better version of yourself tomorrow.
I love it. So I'm just so thrilled to talk to you because you are living in your passion. And that's what this series of Dream Chasers is about. It's about people finding out who they are, what they're supposed to be doing, and going after it, and making monetary money and doing it.
Yes.
And nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
God put everything that you need inside of you.
Exactly.
I really feel that.
Exactly. And put the people around you who need to be around.
Come on,
If you feel
now.
like I
Yes.
just want to get to this one point and nobody's helping me, that's because God ain't ready for you to get to that point yet.
I like it.
God will remove, Miss Bright, I know, baby. God will remove everybody in your circle. That's only a little dot. And that dot is going to be the only thing you need. God also shows you that, it shows you that you can't do it by yourself.
No.
Can't do it by yourself. But as long as you're faithful and you believe it and you can see it, you already know you can achieve it. It's yours.
Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having
today.
me.
It's been a blessing knowing you.
Yes, likewise.
Yes.
Likewise.
So, you all, how do they reach you?
He chose me. You can reach me every Wednesday on DC and Company, but you can also reach me on Instagram, Love My Yacht, LOVEMAATSF. You can reach me on Facebook, Love My Yacht, LOVEMAAT. Also, what's that? Snapchat, Love My Yacht. Also, what's that? Was TikTok?
TikTok.
TikTok.
I've seen the TikTok.
Love My Yacht. I'm new to TikTok, y'all, so don't laugh at me.
Good.
But also for OnlyFans, Love My Yacht.
For OnlyFans.
That's where I teach my education, my workshops
Really?
out there.
Okay.
I had to get on OnlyFans because Facebook and everything is so censored now.
Oh.
So I wouldn't allow anyone to stop me from teaching. So for my OnlyFans, you get it live, personal, uncut, uncensored. You get to see the real deal Holyfield.
Oh, we need her.
Yes.
We need her. You know, I say fill your voids in this earth. She's filling her void, and this is special and unique. And don't be afraid to reach out to her because our body is so sacred.
Yes.
And what we do with it sexually
Yes.
is so beautiful. And if you need any advice, help, mentorship, or whatever, you know, however she does it, just reach out to her. So
Anytime.
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 All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem.
Hi, this is Coach Nicole Bright. I want to thank you so much for watching another episode of Dream Chasers. And if you would like to follow my series on Dream Chasers, just put in the keywords Coach Nicole Bright in YouTube. And then like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more notifications. Thank you, and remember, this is Nicole Bright. I'm loving you, even when you're in pieces. Take care.